Hello everyone and good evening again. It's Friday again and we have a wonderful show. I'm very pleased. Tonight it's all about videography, not so much about photography. I've got Mike Lemery here and some of you may have heard of him. So he's a really talented filmmaker and he comes and has done a lot on the Conowingo Dam, a place I've never been to, but it's really exciting to look at its footage. Apart from that, I'm also very pleased to show you some incredible footage, again from Dutch Harbor, about a special bird that has got a broken beak, something that you may have never seen before. Now hopefully the technology holds tonight, because I've had several crashes today. It's something I just discussed with Mike too, and Mark Horner, my other friend, he knows all about crashes. So if it does happen, hold your breath, I will come back online and we'll be all fine. Okay, so really nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's get right going. Let me just switch the monitor here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's thinking a bit. There we go. Okay, so there you are. There's the guest is Mike Lemery. We'll get to see him in a few minutes. In the meantime, thank you again to my wonderful team, Nicole. By the way, thank you to Nicole for finding and getting Mike Lemery on board. That is really great help, Nicole. I so appreciate that. And Jenny, all the help to you and Suzanne and all my friends, Belladonna and so on. So really wonderful help. Let me give you just a quick weekly Nest Digest. I just wanted to announce something on the way because our Friday shows are getting a little bit too long. By too long, I mean that we have so much nest stuff happening at the moment. It's spring, so life is exploding in the truest sense. So we have to change that a bit. So what I thought is that we keep the Fridays purely to educational stuff, interviews, quizzes, and so on. The fun stuff, the new stuff, and all the things that are exploding in the eagle world. And I will look to do Mondays and possibly Wednesdays. I have to see how much time I have. I will look at a set time in the morning, let's say around 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern time on Monday, and I'll announce it. I'll do 5 to 10 minutes of pure nest and eagles, and any news that comes in, please send it. Let me just put in the email so we have it. That's our new email address. It's info@sassemedia.com. So please send it to me and my team, and we will put all that together and concentrate on that during the week. That also separates things much more because it's impossible for us to keep up on Friday. So thank you. And then let's see, what else do we have? What else? That was that part. Yes, I just wanted to quickly tell you something really wonderful. Let's see where I have the, no, that wasn't there. Wait, that's the wrong screen. Okay, I'm on the wrong computer actually. 1 second. That we'll get to in 1 second. We'll get to, we'll get there. So yeah, now you're seeing my other screen. What I wanted to show you is, and let's see if it's still there. Yes, it is. So, just a few minutes ago or an hour ago, National Geographic actually published this wonderful trip of mine with slow motion in Dutch Harbor. So have a look at this. Ferocious eagle attack captured in slow motion. It's a very nice article written by Nadia Drake, so don't miss it. It's a lot of fun and it's a nice composition. That just brings me quickly to the Patreon. So if you like National Geographic image quality, that's what you can get for $2. I wanted to thank you and thank all the patrons that are coming to the Patreon page and supporting me. It is really about becoming independent as a wildlife and eagle filmmaker, you could say, journalist, whatever, but it's mainly educator. It's all about education. I want to continue on this path, and that's why this funding is very important. And for $2 per month, you'll get a beautiful picture, National Geographic quality, which you can legally print out in high resolution, put it on your walls and enjoy it. And if you put a little bit more, look at the tier structure, there's so many nice things to enjoy. So thank you for those who've just joined, and hopefully we'll have a lot more. So thanks for all that. Okay, so let's get right to it now. This is where it gets really interesting. So we're going to, in a moment, have Mike Lemery live. And what I wanted to show you is the map here. So that is, it's very interesting. It's just at autumn when we have our high time and the best time of eagles in the West Coast. There is another place that is very famous, and I've heard about it many times, at the Conowingo Dam, right between Philadelphia and Baltimore, sort of driving southwest. And right there is this incredible dam. And this is actually where Mike has spent a lot of time. So I'm going to introduce Mike to us now. Let's just see if I can do this.
How you
Mike,
doing?
very good. I've got Mike live. I'm very happy that's working. So
Yeah.
welcome to Mike. Mike, we're absolutely honored to have you. Mike is not the only one who's been seen by National Geographic. He has actually done some incredibly beautiful work. If you Google the Conowingo Dam, you will see that Mike appears there under the Washington Post. It's quite incredible. You'll see his beautiful video. He is very creative, and that's something we're going to talk about today. Not so much the photography side, but how do you actually make videos and films about wildlife and eagles. So I'm very happy to have you here, Mike. Okay.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
So I'm just telling the chat people, please feel free to throw in questions. This is your big opportunity to interact with Mike. Big opportunity to learn something, and we'll go through his footage. So Mike, let's just dive right in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living, and how did you get involved with eagles?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. This is pretty cool to show you guy here. But yeah, for the last 10 years, I've been a professional videographer. I work for an advertising agency in Schenectady, New York, which is just outside Albany, the capital of New York State. And I've been doing professional video for about 10 years. Right now, working for an advertising agency. We do TV commercials and stuff and documentaries and that sort of thing. But I've been doing that video for a long time, 10 years professionally, and even longer than that on my own time. But it wasn't until the last probably 4 years that I got into filming bald eagles. And that started when I first moved to the Albany, New York area, and I just got my brand new Sony FS700, and I was just looking for things to film. And there's this waterfall, this beautiful waterfall here in New York called Cohoes Falls. And while I was there, I saw a sign that said bald eagles are around the waterfall. And I've never seen one up to my point in that life. And I happened to see two that day. And ever since then, I've been going back there with my camera and just trying to get footage with them. And then I've been doing research and just going. And then for the last 4 years, whenever I get free time, I just go spend time trying to film eagles. And I've got tens of thousands of clips now. And then I've gone other places. I've gone, like you said, to the Conowingo Dam down in Maryland, which is probably the best place to see eagles that I've ever been. But other than that, that's how I kind of got into eagles.
Well, that's fantastic. And tell us a little bit about your experience, because you see all these photographers, but you seem to be the black sheep among the photographers.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like everywhere you go, I do see quite a few people taking photos of eagles, which is, something that I do as well, which is fun. But like for the Conowingo Dam, for example, every time I've been there, there's been, probably a couple of hundred people there. And I would say 99% of them are photographers. I don't think I've ever seen another person do video there. And I'm sure they exist, but I haven't really seen it. So it's kind of cool to have something that's a little bit different. Photos are a lot of fun too, but video gives a great way to tell the story and see how crazy and how cool bald eagles can really be.
Yeah, and Mike, tell us a little bit about the National Geographic event, what happened there, and it's, I think that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Nat Geo every year has this film competition called the Wild to Inspire film competition, and what it is that you submit your wildlife film into them, and the finalists get to go out to a film festival and screen your film. So I was a finalist, I believe it was 2 years ago, and they flew me out to the Sun Valley Film Festival out in Idaho, and I got to screen my film there. I got to meet all the people from Nat Geo Wild. I got to meet the filmmakers, some of the people that work there. I got to see other people's really cool films, and also I got to have my film shown on Nat Geo Wild on TV. They actually aired it on TV, so that was just a really cool experience. It's just cool to have, because you spend so much time. Anyone who's ever photographed or filmed wildlife, it's a lot of waiting, and majority of the time it's not very successful. So it's when you do actually get to see success, it's a lot of fun.
So there you go. Mike Lemery is the person to watch out for when it comes to eagles and wildlife. So Mike, what are your plans? Do you have anything on mind? Because we were talking a bit about your equipment. Can you tell us a bit about your equipment and
Sure.
how it actually works?
Yeah, so I have the Sony FS700, which I got I think 4 years ago now, and that's the best part about this camera, as I was talking to you, Christian, was that it shoots in 240 frames per second. So majority of my video, for people who don't know what 240 frames per second means, it's basically super slow motion. So I believe it's like you can slow your clip down to 20% of real time. So watching the eagle go down and swoop in and grab a fish or fight another eagle or just fly, when you slow it down, it's just a really cool thing, kind of like your clip you had with the 1,000 frames per second there, which was amazing. But that's the camera gear I have for a camera, but I also use a two-time teleconverter and a Sigma 150 to 600 lens as my main thing for filming.
Very good, Mike. Well, you're talking about your clip, so let me just give me a second here. I'm just
Sure.
going to, it's going to take a moment here to see if I can blend in. There we got the map at the moment. Oh, that worries me a bit. That means the transition is not working like I wanted to. 1 second. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Be nice. Wait a second. Audio. Let's see. There we go. Got it. Got it. Okay. So, Mike, I'm going to just play the clip. I'm just playing this clip here without any music or so, but it's really beautiful. So here we go. Maybe you can comment on it.
Sure. Yeah, this was actually this November. Late November, December is usually the best time to go. This just seems to be when all the eagles kind of migrate through. And I know one year I probably counted probably close to 200 eagles all in one place, which is amazing. And this year was actually snowing, which is really cool to get, especially with the slow motion. You can see the snow on the eagles. But yeah,
how far is this from you? What's the distance here?
They're pretty close. It's the dam is probably like a couple hundred yards away, but they will, depending on where the activity of the turbines. So basically, at the Conowingo Dam, for anyone who doesn't know, the way it works is that fish go through the dam, and when they go through the dam, they come up. They're kind of like stunned, and they float to the top of the water. So it's like a feast for eagles. And so basically, once they turn these turbines on, the fish start getting riled up, and eagles they're just picking off fish left and right. And then as soon as one catches one, there's about 12 to 20 of them that chase them and try to steal it from them. Yeah. Yeah, so I post a lot of my videos on Facebook and stuff, and I had actually someone reach out to me and said that they had a family member who unfortunately passed away, but was a huge avid eagle lover, and they wanted me to put together some of my clips to help to play at his funeral. So this is just some clips I put together for him, so they could kind of honor him and everything, and it's cool because I think eagle is really. They're a very beautiful and peaceful animal. And I think a lot of people they just enjoy watching them and everything. So it's just cool to be able to have footage like this and be able to have access to eagles like that.
Well, that's really beautiful what you did there because it's, I think that was a firefighter, right?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. And this is still the same clip. I'm not sure. Hang on. Yes, it is still the same. It's still the tribute. Yes, it is. Yep. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, so this is kind of like a variety of clips that I shot throughout the years. I just kind of put some different ones. Some of the shots are around the nest. There's like a couple of nest shots. Just in the Albany area around where I live, there's probably about 6 different nesting pair that I know of.
This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, this is the waterfall here. This is this is Cohoes Falls. This is where I first saw eagles. And there's a nesting pair that live right there that I've caught quite a bit.
Well, here Belladonna is asking, or let me just see. Very nice filming. No, sorry, Terry, I can see that. What is your most memorable eagle capture? That's from Terry.
Yeah. A couple years ago, I was down near Peekskill, New York, on the Hudson River, which is about maybe an hour north of New York City. And this is my one of my second favorite places to go besides the Conowingo Dam. When it's really cold out during late February, if we get a lot of freeze and there's a lot of ice, it really draws all the eagles to this one place. And one day I was there and I was filming, and it was about 10 degrees out and windy, and all of a sudden I saw about 20 eagles just hovering over the same place. And so I got my camera when I went out there, and I realized that were attacking this single duck. There was this one, yeah. It was like they took times. There's dive bombing at them every couple of seconds. They just kept diving bombing at this one poor duck who was just sitting there. He didn't have a chance.
Well,
But
this
it was
is
just
an
crazy to
absolute
see.
masterpiece. An absolute, I mean, really, I mean, I completely appreciate this. It's a masterpiece. Really beautiful.
Oh yeah, thank you. Usually these shots are really hard to come by, and it just takes a lot of it takes a lot of going out there to get these, especially getting close enough where you can fill the frame with the eagles. It's very rare that you get them close enough in an action where the lighting's good, they're doing something cool, they're close enough, So you got to have all the things kind of lined up to be able to get these shots. But if you go out there enough, you'll eventually get them.
Right, that's a looks like a 5-year-old. So
Hmm.
it's incredible. I was just wondering, how did you get the waterfall shot? Because that was such an incredible angle.
Yeah. So the way so that's like I said, that's the first place I ever saw an eagle. So it's like basically on top of a cliff is a park behind a bunch of apartment buildings. So up there you're almost the eye level with the eagles, and the waterfall is right behind you. But I waited probably 3 years to get that shot because they had to fly in this very specific spot that they never fly really. And I happened to be there one day, and they were circling around. There's actually two of them flying at the same time, right around, hovering around the waterfall, and it's perfectly in the background. So
Well, that's absolutely incredible. It is such a beautiful shot. So Susan North is asking, how have the Eagles held up during the northeaster storms, or northeast storms? I
oh,
think
right.
that's what it means. Yeah.
Pretty good. From what I know, they're pretty good. I think they do nest in here a little bit later in the year because of the cold. But it's probably pretty close. But for the most part, they're pretty. They can handle the winter pretty well here. I do know I have a couple nests that have gotten knocked down because of storms and everything, but they always seem to find a new spot and rebuild. So it seems like they can handle it pretty well.
Right, and here we have a juvenile. They slowed it down exactly, and it's a double one. Look at that. There are two coming in. That looks like the 3-year-old, if I see correctly.
Yeah,
Not sure.
yeah. So
Wow.
for this one, the first one went down, and it looks like he tried to grab the fish, and he missed it. And the second one grabbed it for him, and then of course the third one tries to steal it.
Yeah, you love that, don't you? That's the fun part.
Yeah, I think it's the fun part. Yeah.
But it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, tell us a little bit about the focusing, because I mean we have a lot
Mhm.
of good photographers here, Mike. But what is the difficulty that you have during these shots? What has to happen?
Yeah, the hardest part is well, not only getting focus is probably the hardest thing. So you try to get a pretty big f-stop so you can have a good depth of field as much as you can. But it's just practice. The more you do it, the more you get comfortable with it, the more you can anticipate what's going to happen and everything. And then also getting a smooth shot and track it with them, that's pretty hard because sometimes they go slow and they just dive down real fast, and you got to build. As a photographer, we know, so you got to. It's just hard. They're hard to follow. Keep them in frame.
And what about the light? I mean, you have so many magnificent shots of light, but what I have found, Mike, is that sometimes when the light is not so good, videography may have an advantage, but only
Hmm.
if your camera ISO can go high enough. How
Yeah.
do you see that actually?
Yeah, I think that's true because I mean you don't need this fastest shutter speeds for video, which is nice, and I think you have a little more leeway with video for like sharpness of images. And like I can shoot my camera at 2,000 to 3,000 ISO, and it's usually not that bad.
Yeah, and what they're asking, of course, is a very good question, and that's where. What is the difference here between image processing and speed? Because you're slowing down, you're speeding up, and so on. Maybe you can say something to that.
Sure. Yeah, so that's called time remapping. So all of these clips that you see are shot at 240 frames per second, which is super slow motion. And so what you can do is I use Adobe Premiere for all my editing, and there you can use it as a tool that you can speed up to certain parts, and you can ramp basically time remap the speed to where you want the slow part to be, where you want the fast part to be, to give it a little more dramatic contrast, basically.
So, quick question: is it actually? Do you shoot in 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second? I'm just curious.
I usually if I'm not shooting at 240, I'll shoot at 60 just because I
60.
always have that
Right.
ability to slow it down.
Right, right. No, that makes complete sense. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I hope some people can follow all this technology because it's not easy to think in frames. It's very different.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay, so Amanda is asking, Mike, what places are on your bucket list to film eagles?
Well, I do. I would love to go to Alaska. As obviously, um,
Mike, how
I
about
actually,
we do this one together?
yeah, that sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. I actually like. I kind of like filming places where you don't necessarily like places you wouldn't necessarily see eagles, like urban eagle or urban areas, which is that's why I kind of it's interesting in Albany is that a lot of the places where I see eagles is a very urban eagle, so a lot of people have no idea they even exist there, and I think that's kind of cool that they find them in places you wouldn't think they would be.
This is just my favorite here. I mean, this is,
Yeah,
oh my goodness, this is something to die for. I mean, it's just so beautiful, Mark. You did, I
yeah, thank
love
you.
it. And you know what I really love is I always watch the tail feathers of the eagle. And of course, the primary tail, also the primary feathers. But you can see how much they are doing with the tail feathers. That's always
Yeah,
what intrigues me. So here's another beautiful one.
yeah, they remind me of like fighter jets when they're banking over like that.
Did you take a drone here?
Yeah, I'm actually a certified drone pilot as well too. Yeah.
Hey, great.
Yeah.
How do you become a certified drone pilot? Tell me.
So you have to take a 2-hour multiple choice test at the airport. It's pretty hard actually, but it's kind of like a mini pilots test.
Fantastic. And
Mhm.
Kathy has a question here.
Sure.
Do you have to change the lens with videos? Do you change the lens? That's a great question.
It depends. I will do. I do have a 24 to 105 Canon L series lens that I use for like my wide shots and establishing shots. But like anyone who's ever filmed the Eagles, I hate to take off my long lens because I know as soon as I put that wide lens on, an eagle's going to fly down and I'm going to miss it. So I try to get those establishing wide shots as quick as I can, and then I usually stay on the 150 to 600 the most of the time with a 2 times L converter.
This is so beautiful. I mean, I really, Mark, this is an absolute masterpiece. It's, I could see the viewers are enjoying that with all the comments coming in. So do keep on pouring in with questions. That's fine. Here's another
Yeah.
one from Journey. Are the eagles bothered by your drone? That's a great question.
Yeah, no, I don't fly near them. I don't make it an option. I usually do my drone stuff when there's no eagles around, um, because that's the first thing you want to do is make sure you're not bothering the eagles because you're there to it's their territory really. Um, so I usually will fly that whether I don't see them or I know they're not around, and I just do it for a quick flight. But I've never had any animal or any bird or anything go after my drone or nothing. So, but I know it's happened before, but I've never seen it.
Okay, so I want you all to pay careful attention to what Mike is saying because afterwards we're going to enter a small quiz questions, and the fun part is Mike's going to throw in the quiz questions when you phone. So just
Yeah.
pay careful attention. So just watch all these beautiful clips. Yeah, oh gosh, it's so nice. Oh yeah, that's the end of that one. Let's go to the next one. 1 second. I'm so glad that so far the technology is working.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't believe we didn't have a single breakdown, touch wood. Okay, here we go. Next one. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was they actually locked talons over. They both the one had a fish, and the other one tried to steal it, and they both locked talons over the same fish. You can see the fishes in the middle between the two of them.
I mean, this is a dream shot, Mike. I mean, how I don't know
Yeah.
how long it took you to get something like this, because in photography it's difficult enough, but as a video it's 100 times more difficult. I know this. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. This is actually around here on the Mohawk River and the Hudson River is this time of year is usually the best time of year to see a big group of eagles. Because this is when the water kind of starts to unfreeze and they kind of working their way back up from down south, and then you can find huge groups. And when you find these huge groups, that's where you get all the action shots.
And we have some questions here from Michelle. Do you have to have permission to use drones in some areas? And I'll put Terry Green's question right onto it. Aren't drones legally restricted in eagle places? So their spaces, they are very much related. Maybe you could say something to that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of restrictions on drones, and that's what the drone test was for. And like I said, I don't fly them near eagles and near nests or anything like that. I just fly them in areas that you can get at least an idea of the surrounding area. But yeah, I've never even seen a drone or seen an eagle at the same time I've been flying a drone. So it's just
Oh,
something you have to be aware of. But
this is
like,
just so magnificent. It's just so. This is something that really shines in video because the foreground moves like that.
yeah,
It's something that is the absolute thing in motion, you know. And I can see the problem you have with focus too now. And there you got it in focus. You know, you can
yeah,
see how difficult it is, right? And
yeah.
beautiful.
And the part you don't realize it's slowed down to like it's like
Oh,
at an 8 second clip that's drawn out to a minute 20 seconds. So it's happening so fast. The focus. It looks like it's going slow in slow motion, but in real time, you're trying to get that focus in like a matter of seconds. So
you know, Mike, I just have to comment on something exactly on slow motion. I remember when I did this incredible thing with the one eagle pushing the other one underwater.
yeah,
Till I came home, I didn't realize I had that clip, you know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it went
That's
so
what happened.
fast. Well,
Yeah,
so we've gone through your clips. It was beautiful. So what I want to now do quickly is show some of your photographers, because believe it or not, you can also take pictures and beautiful pictures. So here we go. Yeah, that looks like a typical 3-year-old or so. So we're going to go through your pictures and just comment as I'm going to go through them slowly, and you feel welcome to comment.
yeah, yeah. I don't even remember. I see a lot of them at the landfill actually around here.
Right.
Yeah, they seem to congregate around there sometimes.
Now the color here is magnificent, and you see the shadow on the tail feather here. This is beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, this was down by Peekskill, just north of New York City. This was a day where I got there right when the sun was coming up, and there was about 20 eagles on an ice floe fighting over this huge catfish. So they were just flying around, and the light was like perfect.
Ah, now look at this. I'm going to expand this a bit on the screen. Hope my computer won't crash so you can see this a bit better. I'm going to put it a little bit, but there you can see how magnificent this is. Absolutely magnificent. And this, of course, is lovely. I'm going to expand this a little bit too. Hopefully the computer will behave. There we go. Now you can really see it. Isn't that magnificent?
Yeah, I love the ice and the contrast between the ice and the water looks cool.
Yeah, the colors are just
Hmm.
out of this world, out of this world. I mean, this is the best of the best, really. It's wow, love it.
Yeah, and as you know, like those lighting moments don't happen very often where you have good action and everything. So that's why you have to spend a lot of time to get these, as you would know, or anyone who's ever done photography. It takes a lot of time to get these.
There's a banded juvenile there. You can see that.
Hmm.
The banded one. That's interesting. You know, I've what Mike. I just have to tell you, twice already I was able to resolve a band. They're very difficult to read because they're typically, I think,
Yeah.
eight digits, and sometimes you have to get it from both. But I've twice actually managed to send the banded numeration back to the Fish and Wildlife, and
Oh, really?
they
Yeah.
identified it. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Sometimes you go lucky.
Yeah, it's easier in photos to see than in video.
Of
But
course, video is nearly impossible. This is beautiful, dude. Beautiful.
yeah, this was actually just a couple weeks ago. I was just driving down the Hudson River and I saw 15 eagles. They were just all messing around with each other, chasing each other, flying around, just really active.
And here is Beach Girl. She says, Mike, do you mostly use a tripod or monopod or handheld? That's a great question.
Yeah, so for video, you have to use a tripod. There's no way you could ever get a steady shot without it. Now for photos, I usually do mostly handheld because I have the 150 to 600. It's pretty light, so it's not that bad. And I like to be able to move. But for video, it's all a tripod.
Right, and Kathy Adams, have you ever seen an eagle get hurt when they fight like that?
I sometimes I've seen them, get knocked on the ice and a little bit and everything, but they're pretty strong. I haven't really seen one that hasn't flown or had issues before that. They might limp for a little bit, but they're pretty tough, and they're also pretty good at not getting hit. A lot of times when they fight, they don't actually. A lot of times they're not actually even hitting each other. It seems like to me, but I did see. I don't know if you showed the clip before. I did see one fly into a power line one time, and that was
Oh,
pretty scary.
but it seems to me on the dam they typically have high voltage, right? So if
Hmm.
they touch one line, it doesn't matter. It's only face to face that will kill an eagle. So typically, medium voltage is very dangerous for eagles. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just going to flip through these. These are so beautiful. Look at, you know what I love is these color changes of the juvenile. That's probably
Yeah.
a 2 to 3 year old. Just it's so incredible, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
wow. Oh, that's a classic one, of course.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Another beautiful 3 year old. Ah, and very nice lighting. One in shadow and one in. Very nice, very nice. So keep. Oh, this is of course, but this you can see. It's a beautiful shot, but in video, this is 1,000 times nicer. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you get in slow motion. If you have snow,
Ah,
snow in the foreground is really cool.
it's so funny because I got addicted. I didn't know about you, Mike, and you have exactly the same way of thinking as I do. So it's really wonderful to meet you like this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. This is awesome.
Oh my goodness, this is really beautiful. Oh, this is such a beautiful. What time was this and where was this? Do you remember?
Yeah. So this is a nesting pair at a island here. It's a state park called Peoples Island in near Albany, which is like this island right in the middle of the city, kind of. And these two pair you can find all around the island. And this one is this was probably January this year.
Right, so it's very recent. Oh, here we have some more.
Yeah.
That's a typical one. It looks like a quite a young one. No, it's not. It's the tail feathers seem to be white. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, interesting. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh no, it is a young one. It is. It is 5 to 6. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. The tail feathers are just white. It surprised me. Oh no, they're not that white. Ah,
Hmm.
that's very nice. Oh, this is magnificent. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's wow, Mike. We've gone through all your footage. That's wonderful. So let's do something exciting now.
Sure.
Let me just jump to this wheel of fortune. Let me just see. Give me a second to do this. I have to see where the transition was. No, that was the map. Just hang on. No, that's that one. I have to just find the right window. Screen capture. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Let me just go over with my mouse and see somewhere. Yes, this is the wonderful wheel. So, yeah. First of all, let's not jump to conclusion. First of all, we have to give people a dial-in number. So let me just do this, and then I have to get my phone up. So before we do that, I'm going to get Mike back on the, yeah, let me just get you back right on the screen. So there's a
Okay.
dial up number, and I just have to take a second to get my, let's see, where is the, gosh, give me a second. Where is the dial thing? It's all hidden on some page. See if it's on this one. Okay, just give me a sec. Yeah, I've got it. Okay. Okay, I've got it. So, here we go again. We haven't had a quiz for a long time, so it's exciting to have a quiz again. So that is the number you have to dial. The first So Kevin set up this beautiful system where we'll have 3 in a queue, and hopefully it will work. I just have to change the audio. Now the big question, I've never done this before. I've never had a live person plus have someone phone in. So it might be complete chaos or breakdown. So let's I'm just going to
see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. I'm going to. Well, you got the right attitude. So I don't know if there are going to be echoes or what's going to happen. So Mike, do you mind just giving our listeners some challenge? Just ask some quiz question. The first quiz question, Mike.
Okay, yeah. Let me write them down over here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, what river is the Conowingo Dam located on?
Okay, you heard that. What river is the Conowingo Dam located on? And here you go. So you can now dial in if you wish so. I will be waiting. The lines are open for those who know the answer. So what you can win is one of the beautiful photographs. We'll go through 3 questions, 3 answers, and then we will run the Wheel of Fortune, and Mike will stop the Wheel of Fortune and decide what picture you're going to win. Okay.
That's cool.
So let's hope it works. So I'm ready for any calls. So let's see if this is going to work. I don't know, Mike, if you can hear this. So I will try and repeat this, okay?
Okay.
Janny is telling me we have an echo now. Oh, gosh. And I honestly don't know how to avoid the echo. If only I knew. Okay, when Mike asked the question, he was on echo. Oh, my goodness. Now you have me startled.
I heard the phone.
Yeah. Oh, you did hear the phone. Well, that's good. Now I don't know how to get rid of the echo, but let's just try. Let me try and get this now. Answer. Well, that didn't work for some reason. Oh, here we go. Try again. Answer. Hello. Okay. Now.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Who's there, please?
This is Mark Hoobies.
Mark Hoovies. Good to have you on the show. So I hope we don't have too much of an echo. It's a very slight echo, says Jan. Okay, that's good. Well, I can't avoid the echo at the moment. But Mark, nice to have you on the show. What did you think of Mike's work?
It was fantastic. Just awesome, Mike.
Mike, can you actually hear him? I don't know if you
can. I can't.
Okay, so... Okay, well, I'll just repeat that because unfortunately I don't know how to link these two. But Mark says your work is absolutely fantastic. So Mark,
thanks, Mark.
So he says thank you. So Mark, so what is the answer? And I'll have to throw this back to Mark because I don't know the answer myself. Okay, so Mark, what is the answer to the question about the river?
The dam is on the Susquehanna River.
The dam is on the Susquehanna River.
That is correct.
And Mike is nodding. You got it. Very well done. You won the first picture. Thank you for taking part. And by the way, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Shawnee on the Delaware.
Oh.
The Delaware Water Gap in Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania. Well, fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Well, thank you for having to join the show. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for your kind words for Mike. I'm sure he appreciates it and he thoroughly deserves it. And hope to have you soon again. And just hang on. We'll be dialing the wheel very soon. Thank you.
Your work is terrific also.
Thank
Chris.
you. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you, Mark. Fine. Bye.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, so that was Mark. Thank you very much, Mark, for taking... And here comes the next one. Here comes a new call. So, hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. With whom am I speaking, please?
This is Susie.
This is Susie. Okay, hello, Susie. Where are you calling from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Susie's calling from Columbus, Ohio. I'm just repeating it so that Mike can also hear that, who's listening in the background. So, Susie from Columbus, Ohio, we are now going to give it over to Mike to ask the second question for you.
Okay, I knew the answer to the first one. I hope I know the answer to this one.
She says she knew the answer to the first one. Now she's shaking. Okay. Oh, here we go.
All right.
Okay.
So the second question, which kind of relates to the first one, is what state does the Susquehanna River start in?
Did you catch that?
No.
Okay, Mike said, what state does the I can't even say that word. Just pronounce it again.
I know, it's hard to say. The Susquehanna River started.
Yeah, so in what state did the river start, right? The Susquehanna River start? Is that the question, right? So,
Yes, it is. Yep.
what is the origin? That is a difficult, well, for easy if you know it, very difficult. Any idea?
I'm going to guess Maryland.
She's guessing Maryland.
No, it is not Maryland.
No, it is not Maryland. So we'll keep that open as a question. So sorry, Susan, for that. That's life. Some questions are difficult, some are easy. I wouldn't have known the answer. So
it's okay. No
okay.
worries.
Okay, well, thank you for joining. So we'll keep the line open for the next to answer the question. Thank you for joining.
I love your show, Christian. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, fine. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so the line is still open for the question, the origin of this river, which I cannot pronounce. Susquehanna. Okay, here we go. Here comes the next answer. Okay. Hello? Okay, hang on. Try again. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello. This is Christian. With whom am I speaking, please?
Hi, Kristen. It's Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm very well, thanks. And I'm calling from Nova Scotia.
So Jackie's very well, and she's Canadian, calling from Nova Scotia. Wonderful. They have great eagles in Nova Scotia, Jackie. So would you know a question like this from the United States?
I'm not sure, but I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Did you actually hear the question?
Yes, I did, and I believe it might be Maryland.
So she says Maryland too.
Maryland or yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not Maryland, so I'll give you one more chance because that's a previous answer already, which you didn't hear. So I'll give you another chance.
Let's try Virginia.
She says, let's try Virginia. What does...
No, it's not Virginia.
No, it's not Virginia. Well, you've got so many squashy states all there, so many up there. Well, this is going to be a difficult one.
Oh, dear. Well, that was nice talking to you anyways, and I really enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you so much for being part of it. Thank you. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, Mike, you gave them all a challenge. We are going to go on.
Yeah.
So, come on, ring. Keep it ringing. Does anybody dare to answer this question? So we had Virginia. It's not Virginia. It's not Maryland. So, okay, here comes a next caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
With whom am I speaking, please?
Oh, hi, Kristen. It's Beach Girl.
It's Beach Girl. Beach Girl, you are fantastic, Beach Girl. I know you very well. You send in beautiful contributions. You take part on all the chats. It's a pleasure to have you here, Beach Girl. So Beach Girl, what do you think of Mike's work? Tell me.
Oh, I love Mike's work.
You love Mike's work. Well, he's blushing now. He's really a great guy. So now the difficult question. Do you have any idea where that difficult to pronounce river originates from?
I believe it is New York.
She believes it's New York.
That is correct.
That is correct, says Mike. Bravo. You did it.
Yay!
Yay, Beach Girl, you are a star. You are now eligible for the Wheel of Fortune and to win something. So thank you so much, Beach Girl. You are fantastic, and thank you for being on the show and all the great contributions you do. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Great to have you and finally to hear your voice. So hold on when Mike spins the wheel. Okay, thanks, Beach Girl. Bye.
Okay, great. Bye.
Okay, so we have one. Oh, here we go. We have another caller. Okay. Hello? Hello, with whom am I speaking, please?
Hello, you're speaking to Jim in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, Jim in Myrtle Beach. I've been to Myrtle Beach. That's a beautiful area, Jim. What gets your interest piqued in eagles?
Well, my girlfriend is Mike's aunt.
Oh,
and,
so
we're listening to your show. We really enjoying your show, and we love Mike's work too.
You love Mike's work too, so you do know Mike. That is fantastic. Well, so
thank you.
So now you're going to really get a hard question from your buddy. Now he's going to really kill you this time. No. I'm only joking now. So Mike, come up with a question for your friend here in Myrtle Beach,
Okay.
Jim.
Yeah, well, Myrtle Beach, that's an awesome place. I actually went to college in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is not too far from there. So my question is, what substance was banned in 1972 that helped save the bald eagles from possible extinction?
Okay, so the question is, what substance was banned in 1972 that helped save the eagles from extinction? Jim.
Yeah, and this is in New York State.
And that is in New York
pesticide
State, he's
was-
saying. Yes.
Yes. It was a pesticide DDT.
It was the pesticide called DDT.
Correct.
And that is very correct. That is very good. And you know, that is a great question. It is something that we will be discussing at length on one of our shows. We'll be dealing with lead poisoning, and we'll also be doing DDT. And you know this famous story, The Silent Spring, right? This book that I forgot the author. I should know this, but it's something that David Hancock always makes me. She was the first person who made. I think she worked at the Fish and Wildlife, and she wrote this incredible book about the spring where everything is everything silent, and that consequently led to the ban of DDT. So that's great. Well, Jim, what do you think of Mike's work?
I personally, I love Mike's work. I think
You personally love it.
He's got an exceptional eye for all, video is videography, but his work in Eagles is pretty unbelievable.
It is absolutely unbelievable. I completely agree. He's a very creative mind. He's doing the right job. It's fantastic. I wish he could do more advertising with Eagles, right?
Yes.
Well, Jim, thanks from Myrtle Beach. Thank you for being on the show. And so you were the third one. So the lines are now we have to stop the line and the calls now. So please don't call anymore. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spin the wheel, and you'll be the third person. I think we had Beach Girl, and I don't remember the first one, but I'm sure my team can help you with it. Thanks, Jim, for being on the show. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Jim.
much.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so now let's see. I just have to, Mike, let me just get this in the background whilst get this done. Get the Wheel of Fortune here. Right, and so I will put away the phone number. 1 second. And I will switch the audio back. Okay, now the audio should be back, and we shouldn't have any more echoes. So I apologize for the echo. These things are unfortunately very difficult to figure out, but let me just see. I'm going to switch now to this screen. Let me just find it quickly.
And I must say, Christian, you're doing a great job with it, because I've used the program you've used before, and I've done these live YouTube streams and everything, and doing it by yourself and hosting the show. You're doing a great job. So I got to give you a lot of kudos for that.
Well, thanks. Thank you, because you know how difficult this really is, right?
It's hard. It's a lot to handle. Yeah.
It's a lot to handle, but people are very patient. I appreciate it. So the way this works, Mike, is really simple. We're going to spin this wheel now, and this is for our first winner. So I'm going to spin it, and at any given time, you're just going to say stop, and it'll stop. This is a beautiful wheel done by one of my helpers, Jenny.
That's cool.
She's a programmer, and she's done this wonderful thing. So we'll let it spin a bit. It can spin quite a while, and I'm going to go to the pause button, and you just tell me stop at any time. Okay.
Stop.
Okay. Oh gosh, I can't even. Oh, I think I know that image. This is the old wheel, Jenny. I think I got the old wheel here by mistake. This is not the new wheel. You say, Christian, why are you going to take this one? But I think this is the. I forgot to take the new wheel because you had a number there. But it is number 11. It is the one. It's the one in the middle. So this is the beautiful image where you have this floating eagle with the forest, taken in Harrison Mills, by the way. So. This is something Mike will also appreciate, these type of pictures.
Yeah.
So congratulations to our first, to the first person, and unfortunately I cannot remember the name. It's too much for me, but I do remember the second one is Beach Girl. So here we spin again. The second one, the first one is number 11. So we spin it again for Beach Girl, and you tell me when to stop, Mike.
Stop.
And that is, this, you'll love this, Mike. This is the juvenile that I took with a double exposure. It's a stacked image to get the depth of field.
Yeah.
I took, it's super sharp. I took the beak. It was sort of cross-eyed staring at me, and then the eyes, and I superimposed it too.
Yeah.
So this is the juvenile. Congratulations to Beach Girl. You are winning the juvenile, which is one of my favorite, by the way. Okay, we spin it again.
That was a great photo.
For Jim, thank you. Okay, so this is the third one from Myrtle Beach.
Okay. Stop.
This is a beautiful one. This is an eagle pair. So that's the eagle pair for Jim. Congratulations to Jim. So we got all three. That is wonderful. So you will receive this by email. So don't forget, please, to send, I think Beach Girl, I probably know Jim's email. So don't forget to send your email. I'm just going to put it in so we don't forget that. Put in the, where is the email? Just 1 second. Here it is, info@sassemedia.com. Just send us an email. The three winners, please. That's Jim, Beach Girl, and the first person who, unfortunately, I cannot remember. But don't forget to send us the email. And thank you for taking part. And thanks to Mike with these great questions. So that was great. So Mike, do hang on. Just listen in now, because now we're going to go to the second part. I just hope that everything still is working here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just... So, Mike, thanks so much. I'm going to put a big picture of you and a big thank you. And just put your name in again. So thanks a lot to Mike for this wonderful contribution. You are really marvelous. I have a big admiration for you. And as you can imagine, I really appreciate your work. Okay. So thanks so much, Mike.
Same with you. I think this is a really, really cool show you got here. You got a lot of interesting facts. You got cool photography, and that wheel game is pretty cool. So I love all the stuff you're doing. I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Thanks, Mike. I'm sure I'll meet you in person. Can't wait to meet you. Great, Mike. So that was Mike. So we are now going to switch over, and let's see. I have to just think a moment. That's correct. So what I want to show you now finally is I wanted to show you something that I was not able to show you last time. I just have to go back to my folder here. Dropbox, where was it? 1 second. There we go. There we go. And what I wanted to show you is something really remarkable here. Just have a look at this picture. This is something I've never seen before. Why this is so remarkable is in Dutch Harbor we came across, and we believe it's a female, Jack Mullen, I believe it's a female, simply because of her size. But I'm just going to zoom this picture in. You will see that this bird has a completely broken beak. The upper beak is completely missing. And this has two very serious consequences. First of all, how can a bird with just using the talons, and if you've seen them rip apart fish, how could it possibly get a grip of fish? That's the first question. And the second question, of course, is equally important. How does a bird like that preen itself? Because preening is so important to keep the health of the feathers going. And if you had asked me before I came to Dutch Harbor, I would have said it's impossible for such a bird to survive. However, what I saw in Dutch Harbor was most remarkable. So I just, we called her Broken Beak. And this is just some close-ups of you can see that. And well, you could feel sorry for that bird. But this is life, you know. And just look at the close-ups here of the beak. You can clearly see, you know, how bad the bird is off. Yet, I want to show you some incredible clips, and hopefully this worked. This was taken in 4K in real time, and that's Broken Beak in the middle. And how did Broken Beak do this? By really pure fighting. A Broken Beak is pulling or just nibbling at the foe, and you can see really fighting for a place, and is very respected and has to eat very quickly. You can see the bird, how easy it is for the others to rip out the food, and this Broken Beak bird really has understood how to survive. quite a remarkable clip, actually. I'm really proud of this, because this for me is probably something you've never seen before. And yes, I've seen some of the comments from Amanda and so on. Yes, the broken beak is really broken really badly. I'm just going to let it run a little bit, so you can see this. Oh yes, by the way, I just heard Mark Woby was the first winner. Thank you very much, Jenny. That's what it was. Yes, and it was the correct wheel. It was. I did. So Mark was the winner number 2, Beach Girl was winner number 2, and Jim was number 3. Thank you very much. But there you can see, isn't that amazing? So this broken beak bird has to really work hard at at fighting. And there comes another fight, and it finally loses the fight. And that's the way it goes, right? So I think this it just goes on and on and on. And I just wanted to show you a second clip too. And the second clip, I want to show you how ferocious eagles fight. I didn't have the I can still slow this down. I mean, this was taken, I think, at this is in 4K, but I can't slow it as much down as Mike did, for example. But there's the broken beak bird again. But watch out now, there's going to be a bird coming in and doing such incredible kung fu to everybody here. It's scary, and you can just see how they fight. It's incredible. There it comes, there it comes. Look at this landing. Every bird is kicked out now, till nothing is left. Isn't that remarkable? And that's what I wanted to show you. So what the bird did here in all these fights was make a lot of space. And of course, I will show you similar clips in slow motion in the next week, because now at least I found a method, and for you to enjoy this. So by the way, I will soon be releasing a beautiful video from Mark. He's done some excellent work. Let me just put myself back in the picture here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I'm back in the picture. And yeah, I just wanted to show some of, let's rather put some of Mark's beautiful work here in the background. That's much nicer. So yeah, we've talked, it's an hour now, and I think it was a very intense hour. It was a wonderful hour. It was great to have Mike on the show. I think you must have enjoyed it as much as me, or even more. So I will probably see you, and I have to prepare this over the weekend. I will probably see you on Monday and Wednesday. I have my team to help me a little bit, so I'm going to give only 5 to 10 minutes, very succinct news. And if you have questions, wait till after these 10 minutes when I'm finished, and then we can chat a bit, because I want to make it very succinct so that replay viewers can also enjoy that. So anything that goes on that you find of interest, please send it to I'll give you the email address again here, to info@sassemedia.com, and we'll happily take that on board. So usually by Sunday night, I will need all the anything on news for Monday morning. I'll be looking through a lot of your there are so many of you who do bald eagles naturally. There's Lady Hawk there. Oh my goodness, there are just so many of you who do incredible clips all the time. So I'll be looking out for your work. And if you have anything, also Kathy Adams and so on, she sends a lot of clips in. Thank you so much. Just keep on sending information. Anything you have on the newspapers, just send it in, and I'll make it very succinct, 5 to 10 minutes of a report. And we'll be keeping up, if Nicole has time, she'll be keeping up the nest news, so that I'll also be reporting on Monday or Wednesdays. But that makes it not such a long show now, makes it more succinct. So next week, Lady Hawk has done some incredible investigation here. She has a contact to Norway. Norway has this beautiful nest, and I will try and get in contact with also a filmmaker, by the way, from Norway for next week. And hopefully he will have time to share, probably not in real time, because Norway is far ahead, right? There'll probably be early mornings then. But I will try and do a recording of him that I'll be showing of this beautiful white-tailed eagle nest in Norway. So thank you to Lady Hawk for for giving me that information, initiating. That's what I would like to do. And the week after we'll be talking about lead poisoning. That brings me to another thing. Lead poisoning, just as DDT are, so that what Mike has just talked about, are important subjects, and I promised we would tackle it. And lead poisoning is definitely one we're going to do. If there's any expert that you know, please write to them. We'll have 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks to get hold of them. Anybody from rehab center who's got a lot of knowledge on lead poisoning, please put them into contact with our team, info@sassemedia.com, so that we can get the experts talking to you. That is what is so valuable. And thank you again for your contributions. Don't forget to look at Patreon too. Remember, you get beautiful images. You get it. So if you say, give him $2 less than a cup of coffee, you get the most beautiful eagle image. For that, I can tell you the others so far have been really happy about it. So on that note, thank you, my friends. So I'm going to just see that that I get the stop streaming here. So have a wonderful weekend, and thanks again to Mike for being on the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.